We thank all of you tuning into tonight's program here on the Lime Time Podcast Network. Before we officially begin, we pay honor, respect, and salute the greatest nation in the world as we play our national anthem.
Oh, say can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight for that ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the
All right. Hey, everybody. What's going on? It's episode number 23 of the Falls Count Everywhere podcast. And glad that you're joining us here tonight. We were just kind of running into a few glitches here to get things started. We're starting a little bit late, but we will get to things here momentarily. Once again, tonight's featured guest is the son of the South, Frankie D. And we will hopefully be talking with him very soon. But my name is Rough Cut Rick Ruby. Over here on the other side here is oh my Lord.
Oh, sorry. That's wrong. Hold on. I should fix that a little bit. Okay.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Well, apparently a guy that apparently.
Hey, if anybody else can create their own office for the hell of it, why not me?
Yeah. Well, it's Mr. GQ Matthew Wayne Schuyler III. And I'm going to keep this on you here real quick here. We're actually having some technical difficulties for our guests getting on here tonight.
But hold on. This is what happens when you try to book somebody that lives in a trailer park.
Yeah. Well,
you know they don't have Wi-Fi. They got tin cans and string.
Tin cans and string. All right. Well, Well, let's talk about something else here real quick, GQ, and
you want to get it off of me like that? Here, I'll turn this off too. Okay.
Yeah, sorry about that. And of course, we do have our lines open, should be working. Of course, is 314-764-5540. That is to call and interact with us here tonight. So once again,
talk about our guest. I'm just saying.
What?
And the number is to talk about our guest tonight.
Yeah.
No randomness. I'm just saying.
Yeah. Yeah. So we may have we may or may not have him on the line, at least via webcam, but we're going to try and get a voice line out to him, see if he's going to reach me. Or let's see. Oh, he's got an iPad. Oh my gosh.
There's your other issue right there.
Don't even go there.
Apple products.
Yeah. My goodness. Okay. So we are.
I'm not even going to share that last comment right now.
Well, he should have. Oh no. Too hot for the hot tub. Too hot. Oh man. So what's up? So Vader's in here. Shaft is in here, and
I actually did check out their podcast earlier where they had Sean Vincent on there. I thought it was done really well, except for Shaft on it. I mean, but that's just me,
Yeah, I mean, just a lot of stirring the pot. I thought the pot was really going to be stirred more than I thought it was, but yeah. So Wyatt's on here tonight. Thanks for tuning in here, Wyatt. I know that you're a big fan of our guest. Blundy's in here again, so go and give the little him his little icon up in the corner.
Here we go. Oh, over here. Yeah, sorry. There you are. Nice. See, there. Okay, we're done.
Okay, yeah, we're done. Okay. So there we go. Wow. I guess I should be trying this. I guess I really should be trying these links before we send them out to our guests to make sure they work. I guess so. I'm assuming they work. Hold on. Hey,
apparently my assistant uses a tablet, and so if he's using like a messenger with his iPad or whatever, and if he holds it until it brings up options, it should come up with a web browser that you can use or something. And I would think open the Safari or Chrome if he has it on there and try that and see.
He'll have to open the link, and so he'll have to tap and hold on the link, and he'll have to select open in Safari.
Yes.
All right.
So let's see if this works.
And then this comes up, and then there's the dots.
Where's my Jeopardy theme when I need it? Good Lord.
Hey, somebody sent you dueling banjos the other day. It's perfect for tonight. I'm just saying.
Oh well.
And this is what you end up getting. I feel dirty whenever I touch a Apple product, though. So, and then do the same thing where you get that option. So hopefully, because we were having problems looking on it on the iPad as well, just to see. Just clicking the link won't work.
Yeah. Yeah. I guess we should be gonna look like. Sorry, I had to put this up here. That is just not even right. Oh my God, Beast. That's so wrong. Hey, I like the. Did you hear anything about this earlier on the Outside the Ring STL?
Yeah, I heard. I'm just I ignore that.
It's like,
you know what? Hold on. We're gonna go back to the other one for a second. See, with that one, that's why you always think of the phrase "do not ask," because anything with hot tubs always has to have the words DNA with him.
Oh God.
Do not ask. I mean, that's what it means.
Oh yeah, DNA. Do not ask. Yeah. Gotcha. Yeah. So
they finally got the trailer park working. They turned on the engine.
I think so. Say, hey, why don't we go ahead and
hold on? You can keep talking all you want until we bring you onto the show. We're not going to hear you. So you just smile, look pretty for a second. We'll get to you in a second.
Yeah, we'll get to you in a second here. So we're going to go ahead and bring him on with our featured guest of the evening as soon as I can get my music to go. All right, sorry, yes, our featured guest this evening has been perfecting his wrestling business for a better part of your year. He experiences things from multiple states, as well as singles and tag team titles. And broken bones, south as a dirty roughhouse technician. Fans really hate him as a bad guy and love him just as much as a good guy. Tonight he's with us to talk about his memorable career, what he has in store for his wrestling future as well. Let's give a big false count everywhere. Welcome to the Son of the South, Frankie D.
You got to hit the button, Ruby. I mean, here, I'll do it for you. Here, I'll just do that. Add to stream.
Hey, do you freaking mind? What an idiot. God. Frankie D, it's good to hear you, man. Good to see that you're on.
What's going on, my friend? How are you?
Oh, I'm doing okay, man. I'm so sorry, man. Sometimes this new technology has got us baffled here too, man. So I guess I should be testing this stuff before I just say, hey, could you just go ahead and do it? So,
well, you know, I understand what your problem is. You've got Fathead over there working with you.
You know, this is one of the proofs that I.
Oh, wait a minute, you're repping.
I don't need clarity once in a while, okay? You got that.
You're repping, so I'm going to leave you alone tonight. No, seriously, I appreciate the invite tonight. I've been looking forward to this. Talked to a lot of people. Been trying to pump this up. You know, not a lot of people invite me to come on to their shows and talk about a lot of things. And I've known you gentlemen for quite a long time, and you both know me quite well, and know that I'm not one to how do I put this to have too much of a filter. So I don't get too many invites, but thank you very much. I appreciate it. Makes an old guy feel pretty good.
Yeah, excellent, man. Excellent. Yeah, so we're gonna get into. Sorry, we didn't get a chance to talk beforehand.
Wait. Here we're already starting. No, you just Blade is already. Look behind me. Look at that. It's all shined up and ready to go. So, Damian Blade, Butcher, just sit back, just relax, sit back in your butcher shop there, and you know, play with your Rocky Mountain oysters that you got back on the shelf there, and just bide time, and you know, you'll get your shot one way or the other, and you know, it'll all come around. And when you run out of those Rocky Mountain oysters, you can move on to, I don't know, squid tentacles or something like that. I don't know. You, Squidward, and SpongeBob go back and play in the front yard or something. Anyway, we'll move on now and let the big boys talk.
Yeah. So who do you think has better whiskey, you or the butcher?
Better whiskey?
Yeah, better whiskey.
Hang on. Okay, that's enough. Probably he buys that cheap stuff.
Well, like the hot butter pecan whiskey and
what did he do he buttered what?
Like the pecan whiskey, the pecan pie and all that. You got to get the stuff that puts hair on your chest.
Okay. Some of that.
Wow. Hey, wow. Look at this.
That, wrong one. Yeah, I was damn it. There we go. Finally, that was one.
Oh, my goodness.
All right.
Hey,
what do you want to know?
Before.
All right. Well, before we get in, GQ, if someone had given you an evaluation of your job so far.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
So there you go. All right.
All right.
So,
what do you got for me tonight?
Yeah, so Frankie D, we're going to dig way back to the beginning, and then we're going to kind of filter all the way up to the end. I mean, there's a lot to try and cover.
Use a filter. Remember that.
Well, he's had a span of what? It's been 30 years, right, for you?
30, almost 32.
Almost 32. Okay. I said in the better part of 30 years, so I didn't want to be wrong, but I'm going to be wrong anyway. So, tell us how it all began and how your love for professional wrestling started.
Well, that's an easy one. Me and my dad used to watch it every Saturday, man. Wrestling at the Chase, Larry Matisick, Sam Muchnick, we used to watch it every weekend. There you go. Papa D, you had it up there, didn't you?
Yeah.
So we used to watch it every weekend. And I remember growing up, my dad, that used to be our thing. Every time, they would come into town, we'd go watch it over at the Keel. It would be at the Keel and sometimes at the Checker Dome. You remember the Checker Dome. That's probably way before your time, Schuyler. But anyway, we'd go over and watch. We'd watch the greats like Ric Flair and Bruiser Brody, Dick the Bruiser, Dick Murdoch, Pat O'Connor and Jack and Jerry Briscoe and, Ole and Arn Anderson. I mean, just all these guys that I grew up watching. I mean, he would take me over there. We'd make a night of it. We'd go over there and we're talking old school wrestling where you didn't have these fancy entrances and not a lot of music going on, and Larry Matisick would be in the middle of the ring. He would announce the contestants. They would come in. They would work their magic, tell a story, go home. You'd see him out in the back. You'd get an autograph, and you'd go home, and your night was made. You know what I mean? That was just old school, magical wrestling. These guys were tough and just great to see. It wasn't what we see today. My dad took me to these places. Before that, we'd go to dinner. You ever heard of Mickey Garagiola?
Oh, yes.
Garage.
Absolutely.
Okay. How about Joe Tang? Is it what was it? He had a restaurant.
Joe Tangaro.
Tangaro's. Joe Tangaro. Joe Tangaro. We go to eat at Tangaro's and then go watch wrestling. And then that was our night, man. Almost every month we'd go do that. And it was just an awesome thing. So that's what built me up. I wrestled in school all the way through. Started when I was, 6, 7, 8 years old, something like that. Wrestled all the way through and got out of high school. I was 20 years old, I guess. Called around, find out what I had to do. Want to be a professional wrestler. I actually called. Back then, it was still called WWF. I actually called, said, hey, what do I got to do? This guy answered the phone, believe it or not. Blackjack something or another. And he told me where to go in St. Louis. And the rest is history.
Oh, wow. So you actually made a call up to WWF headquarters at the time in Connecticut. And
I did.
So
Absolutely.
And Mr. Lanza told you where you could start. So.
Absolutely.
Was it Lanza or Mulligan, actually?
Oh.
What?
Oh, it's Mulligan?
Or Lanza, which one?
Yeah.
Chocolate or vanilla? All right. So I guess kind of leading into that. So who trained you and taught you your ring basics, and where did you go?
My trainers, actually, I went to South Broadway, talked to Tony Costa, great guy. God rest his soul. The very first people that trained me were Keith Smith. Whoops. Remember Keith Smith?
Yep. Please let that not be whiskey. That's alcohol abuse if you spill the whiskey, brother.
That wasn't the whiskey. That wasn't the whiskey.
Just saying. Oh.
Okay. And then one other guy, Jeff Foster. You know who that is, right?
John Blackheart.
John Blackheart. Great trainers. Okay. Pete Madden had a lot to do with training me. But those were basically the guys who taught me everything I know.
Wow. And and as far as, before we get to your question, the GQ is going to ask, and the reason why I want to make sure to kind of get your history and who's trained you, for everybody who doesn't know, I'm just going to do my one part of my broadcast. This is the guy here who basically taught me my ring basics in getting into the business. And let me tell you.
Hey, thanks a lot, Frankie.
Well, who taught you your basics? Shoot.
Billy Bob taught me mine.
Really? Made you squeal like a pig too, right? But Frankie,
you got a pretty mouth.
There you go. No, Frankie D was the one who trained me, and my goodness, we can go back. And now it's kind of ironic that the house I live in now is like only a 3-minute drive from where everything started for me, where we trained, Big Texas, to one of those side buildings.
Right by the Congress Inn.
Yeah. Boy, yeah, for a good time, only $15, right?
Schuyler's still doing that?
Oh my gosh. The funny thing is that the buildings basically have all closed. There's something else that's trying to get in there now, and I have no idea what it is. But that Congress Inn is barely on its last leg still.
It was barely on his last leg back then.
I know. And who knows if they cleaned the curtains since then. So my guess is probably no. But
it's interesting.
Trained a lot of guys, trained a lot of people.
all of us, because I had a different company working with them over Big Texas. And it's a good building to where you have a hooker motel and an adult novelty store right next to it.
And then you got Big Texas, where all the guys have to go wrestle every Monday night.
Back then, Rube, I don't know if you remember, but back then we did the TV tapings on Monday nights, and we had a brutal schedule back then when it was Central States back then. You remember?
Oh yeah.
Before it was Rampage Championship Wrestling, we had a brutal schedule because, especially when we worked a regular job, we would leave Friday and sometimes wrestle Friday, wrestle Saturday, and sometimes even a Sunday, or sometimes we'd wrestle Saturday, Sunday, and then have to be back, set the ring back up for Monday night TV taping.
Oh my God. Yeah, Central States back then, like 90,
Frank
yes, between late 96 and going all the way through 97. I mean, he ran that wheel like nobody.
About 100 shows.
God, and probably around the neighborhood of like 8. I mean, if you count Yeah, I mean, if you count like the weekly shows and all that, he's got like 80 something underneath his belt in 97. And my God, I never thought I worked so much in my life.
Well, you remember those few years there in the mid 90s. That's when, tag teams like the All Americans and the Sharps, they ran scared of Bodily Harm.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yes. And
because you can only have so much blood you can move out there on the floor. That's why. So
right.
No blood on the dance floor because you got a country line dance whenever you get the ring down. I mean, if people were still around after the show, it was still a bar. I mean,
right,
who knows? It was a bar. It's trying to get business. People want to dance and all that. So hurry up, get your shit done, and get the ring down. Oh my God. Yeah, but those definitely some good working and very busy times when I first got in too. So that's some awesome stuff. We may come back back to that here. But GQ, go ahead and read off your first question for me.
So tell us your memories of your first match. Who did you face and what memory stands out in your mind the most about it, other than pain?
My very first match was Keith Smith, and he whooped my ass.
Oh my God!
I don't think there's a single person that doesn't have a first match that starts. I face this person. He beat my ass. That was it.
Oh my! Yeah.
Literally, but let me tell you what though. He respected me in my first match though. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
He respected me in my first match. Let me say that. You're talking about our first match and things like that, and trainers and everything like that. A lot of guys nowadays, it's a different creature we have now walking the squared circle.
Mm-hmm.
And I say that with as much love as I can muster up, because y'all know that I'm as old school as they come.
Yep.
I'm 52 years old. I'm 50. I'll be 52 this year. And I've been in this business a long time, and I have trained countless of individuals. I've trained people that has gone on to bigger and better things. You both know that. Okay.
Yep.
I've trained individuals that have made it, that didn't make it. But my point is this: you've got guys these days that want to come in, bump around for about 3 or 4 weeks, hop in there and they're ready to do a show, and call themselves a professional wrestler. Back in the days that I trained 6 or 8 months before I got my first match. And we trained 3 to 4 days a week, 3 or 4 hours a day. And we bumped until we couldn't bump anymore before we learned anything. Period. And if we griped and complained about it, then guess what? You didn't work. And that's not the way it is today for some people. I don't understand that. But anyway, I just had to get that off my chest. So go ahead.
I think because all of us had the same thing, to where trained for a long period of time before we even got any kind of a match, and not even any kind of a win for years after that though too. So
yeah,
look, training is not just the physical aspect of this thing. You have got to have your mind ready before your body's ready. I don't care if your mind and your attitude isn't ready, then you're not going to make it in the business, period.
Right. And I think that's well put. And like I said, you need to bring this stuff out, because this is what I'm telling guys that are asking stuff about me, because I'm like, well, hey, and I've seen shows, and GQ can attest for me, that they've, they get in like about on the day of the show with the ring's up, and they take like a few bumps, and then there's like somebody short on the card. They're trying to get somebody in the ring just to do something quick to squash. And I've seen it before, and it's horrible. And it to me,
guys, look, training doesn't stop. Training don't stop. I don't care if you've been in the business for 30 years, if you've been in the business for 40, if you've been in 20, 15, 5, I don't care. Training doesn't stop.
No, it doesn't. I mean, because you can also learn a lot as the years go on. So, yeah, I see the lack of, there's some guys I see the fire, and then there's a lot I don't. And trust me, with the ones that I weed out, I just don't honestly, if you're somebody that's out there that's tried it and can't make it, great for you. But if you don't have the fire, let the guys who have the fire carry on the next generation of wrestling. So
one thing that we see a lot of people just go through the quick training, and we put a lot of effort into helping them out, and all of a sudden they have a couple matches and you never see from them again, which we wasted a lot of blood, sweat, and tears we put into that. So,
yep, exactly. And like I said, and I will say that I had 4 months of training where I trained at least 3 nights a week when we had that. And I remember my first match down at the Ambassador and Jennings, whatever. And yeah, let me just say, I got bumped around a time or two after the bell too. So, but it was good times after that. So, yep. Here we go. Right here, Mr. Herb Simmons says it. Most have heart and passion for the business. Frankie has both. So, yep, I totally agree with that. So, absolutely.
Appreciate that. Thank you.
All right.
Kind words. Thank you.
Yeah. So, definitely some good comments to look at. So, so Frankie, what are some of the notable names that you worked with throughout your career, and who has been your favorite wrestler to work with out of those?
Oh man. You're talking about 30 years, geez.
I mean, anything that just stands out in your mind. I mean, anything that just stands out.
Well, of course, SICW last year, I had an opportunity to work a Legends match with Bob Orton and Tony Atlas. That was probably one of the biggest highlights of my career right there. Thank you, Herb Simmons, for that. Both of those gentlemen are just class acts. I'm telling you, they are just class. I mean, 100%. I couldn't say anything more than that. They're just great guys to work with. Let's see. Oh gosh, a lot of old school guys.
Well, I mean, yeah, I mean, as far as
shoot,
well, I
don't know, just
yeah. Well, I mean, a lot.
Well,
go ahead.
You and all of Bodily Harm pretty much had a lot to do with training Trevor, didn't you?
Well, now don't forget, the original Bodily Harm was myself and Johnny D, JD. And don't forget that Trevor Murdoch is well, I can't see that picture because that's up in the corner.
Hold on,
take that.
Really click on me. I can't. I got me moved over.
Okay, got it. There you go. There you go. Hey, we see it a little bit better. Just
yeah, that's a long time ago.
That looks like Boone.
That is,
but
anyway. So JD was my original partner when we came up with Bodily Harm and we started Bodily Harm, and Trevor is JD's little brother, and he traveled with us when he was 14 years old, and we started bumping him around, and he was a kid back then, and we started showing him the ropes back then. So yeah, we got to train him a little bit and stuff like that. And we broke him into the business, and great guy. And he got a chance to go to Harley's, and I mean, and Harley took him under his wing, and he did great things. And history is what it is, and I'm proud of him. Couldn't be prouder.
Yep, I mean, definitely got a. Yeah, it definitely was fun watching him train before he went up to Harley's, and of course he's.
I'm telling you what, sense of humor. He could. He just could make anybody laugh.
Oh yeah.
Great worker.
Oh yeah, he definitely had a good fire in him whenever he first started, and glad he carried it over to where
he does stuff with wrestling out of Hollywood with Dave Marquez. He's been doing a lot of the NWA stuff down there with him and everything. So,
oh yeah, Well, I know. Some time ago, last year, he won the national title.
Mhm.
Yeah, he's got the NWA title.
Okay, so he's got the national title. Yeah. All right. Yeah, that's awesome. But definitely, it was definitely fun watching Trevor grow, getting his first licks in, and it was some good stuff, man. I definitely got stories on that as well. But
Well,
Oh yeah,
I guess I
road
have
stories,
I
hotel
have-
stories.
and with people that you possibly might have worked with. Did you happen to work with a wrestler named Angus King before he moved up? Or was that a little bit
I have.
time?
No, I have.
yeah, everybody smart in the room should know who that is. So, all right. So,
Fire up your ass to figure out who it is.
yeah.
Bumped around with Randy over at South Broadway a little bit for me and Jeremy Lightfoot.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. So who would you say was we've been mentioning Bodily Harm, and of course you've gotten, with 3D Incorporated here when that was started, and then of course that took a different turn as well. But what would you say is your greatest feud or storyline that you've been involved with personally?
Oh, of course it's in the tag team era, of Bodily Harm. That would be absolutely the All Americans.
Oh, thank you. Yes. Yes.
Absolutely.
You guys tore it up a lot in '97. I mean, from town to town. I mean, you guys, good Lord, I couldn't tell you how much blood was shed between all four of you. All four of you.
Buckets, gallons. Right. Yeah. It was awesome. We just.
Yeah. I mean, you and drill instructor were probably battling for the top spot for that. I mean, it was just messy.
It was, but we respect one another and still do to this day.
Oh man, yeah, so those matches I remember seeing, and and then man, just going from town to town and seeing that, and just those matches were the top premiere. Of course, I'll never forget when I first got in and we were doing TV tapings in Festus, and you guys broke the damn ring. You could had to finish the match outside.
Well, I mean, just because something breaks doesn't mean you stop.
Unless it's Friday, but that's about it.
Yeah, you did for a minute. You said WTF, and then like, oh, screw it, and just kept kicking ass into the important to the audience. Oh my God! I guess the yellow rope didn't work well that night. So
yeah, no,
magical Missouri twine.
The twine, yeah.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Couldn't even pull a bicycle. But anyway,
well, now that you actually mentioned that, and I guess we'll go into my question that I have is there any moment that stands out as the most unplanned or botched scenario during one of your matches?
Sure. You guys remember what's the place that we wrestled in Arnold?
was
it the Eagles?
Yeah, it was the Eagles.
Well, okay. How many times? I think it happened more than one night where a fan jumped in the ring. 3 times.
It happened on 3
I think
shows.
3 times. What happened? Huh?
It happened on 3 shows. The only show that it did not happen on is when we did that Stephen DC morning show. That's because people were too freaking. They haven't woke up yet when we're wrestling at 7 o'clock in the morning.
Fell asleep. That's what the problem was.
Yeah.
Right. I mean that's just kind of like a dark spot or a house show or whatever you want to call it. But but the other 2 times, we're pretty legit when they came in. But back in those days, you want to talk about old school. We took care of business when they come in. So we protected one another, and that's what we did. So it was unplanned. But we took care of business. And do you remember what happened after that? We finished the match.
Get him out. Get him out and finish. Yeah. I think it was like the 3rd time it happened, and I forgot who said it, and I heard, "Damn it, again." So everybody pours out.
Right.
These people don't learn. I don't know, man. But that was Yeah, that definitely was unplanned because it's like, well, you're sitting here relaxing and you've got your boots off. Me being still within its first year or year and a half, and I'm like, oh, damn it. So I'm trying to find my shoes to get on to get out there. Of course, I get out there too late. So what the hell? Dude?
Right. What was that? I can't remember another one. I can't remember what town we were in, but we came off the balcony. Was supposed to go through a table, and the table didn't break.
Oh my god!
Remember where that was? That kind of hurt.
Gosh. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out what town that was in, but I do remember where the table wasn't breaking. Yeah. Woo.
Oh, the biker show, Doc Lombardi. Yeah, where we had the ring set up in a volleyball court.
Yep.
Yeah, and the one dude got angry and started to come in. Yeah. Yeah, got kicked in the head. And anyway, yeah, those things really do happen. So
I bet Doc remembers a lot of your matches, but not the way you would think. He remembers a lot of it because he had to be the security guy out there if he pissed everybody off.
Right. Absolutely.
My God, yeah. Shoot.
Right. What's your next question?
Well, my question is, you're talking about, we've brought up your several gimmicks and personas so far, that you're part of, being from Bodily Harm to 3D Incorporated, and now to being the Son of the South. So which has been your favorite and why?
My mouth shut on other gimmicks. I'm just going to let that one go out the window and stay out the window.
Shut up. Shut up. Well, I'm going to tell you what. I'm I like what I'm doing now because it's more. I think it more fits me personally. But I'm really, I was really connected to Bodily Harm as well. That was my first real push, my first go around, if you will. It was an awesome time in my life. We did some good things. We had some fun, and met a lot of great people. Did a lot of great things. But right now, I'll be 52 years old. I don't have much time in the ring left. I want to go out with a bang. I want to do what I can for the companies that I work for. My home companies, SICW and MMWA. I do work for another company called SNPW, which is in Southern Illinois. I work for them every once in a while. But the two guys I work for now, Herb Simmons and Anthony Castaldi, before it was Tony Costa, before he passed away. But I want to do everything I can. Now I'm gonna choose my words wisely here. I'm no superstar. Don't pretend to be one. Don't want anybody to think I'm one. We've got enough of those in the business as it is. Okay. But I want to be remembered. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. Makes a ton of sense.
Okay. I'm gonna break kayfabe here. I don't know who's listening, who's not listening. Okay. Every guy I sit across from in the locker room goes to a day job. Fair enough?
Right.
Listen close now. They'll go to a day job. 90% of them have a family that they have to feed. So if we're all going to be arrogant enough to call ourselves superstars, we're not independent wrestlers. We're not a brotherhood. Then everybody's just in for it for themselves.
Yeah.
I would rather go out of this thing knowing that I was part of something that mattered, that I was part of something that was a brotherhood, that's a family, that I was part of something that came together, stuck together, and helped one another out. A lot of guys want to go out on top, being a champion, holding a strap, being a superstar, being the best at their game. I'm no idiot here, okay? I never made the big bucks because I'm short. but I'm only short on one end. So let's be honest, okay? But I'm pretty good at what I do. I'm not the best. I know that. I'm pretty good at what I do. All right. But I'm a damn good trainer. I'll pat myself on the back on that one. Okay. But I'm a damn good trainer. I want to go out of this thing knowing that I help the next guy up. Okay. I want to go out of this thing knowing that I help him up the right way. Am I making sense to you?
Absolutely. Yeah, you're making a ton of sense because,
okay. I know I got a family to feed. You know, I'm like I said, I'm getting up there. I'm 52 years old. I know what's ahead of me here. You know, I always want to be connected to this business in one way or the other. Okay. But I want to leave it better than when I came in. I don't want to leave it with a sour taste. I don't want to leave it with the business having a sour taste because of me. I want to leave it better than I found it. And I want people to be better off because they knew me. And I want to instill that in everybody that I train, that I come in contact with, that I can talk to, any rookie or greenhorn that I can spend a few minutes with to let them know what we used to be, how it used to be, and how we can get it back there again.
Right.
I know I went off on a soapbox, but everybody needs to know that. All of this division that's happened, all of this crap that's happened, look, y'all need to put all that stuff aside and get this thing back to where it was. I'm serious as I can be. You all need to put that stuff down, shake all that nonsense off, and get back to this brotherhood that we have here, get back to this business that we have here, and let's have some fun. Stop being so damn serious. Let's get a drink, smoke some cigars, and raise some hell.
There you go. At least share a drink. Yeah.
All right. Let's get back to having some more fun.
Now, man, it's good getting on the soapbox because this is good because people need to hear stuff like this. So, at least in my opinion. So, there you go. Once you got something that's coming from the heart and knowing that with all the experience that you've had, people need to hear something like this because I can talk till my face turns blue, but some people may listen.
We all can't be superstars. We all
not.
can't be superstars. Come on, think about it. I don't care how much talent you got. Let's be serious, okay? Think about this, okay? I don't care how much talent you got. If you got a sickening freaking attitude, ain't nobody gonna want you around anyway.
Right? Absolutely.
I don't care how much. I don't care if you can do 18 moonsaults in a row, go through 14 tables, work a 35-minute match, do 89 finishers in it. If you got a rotten attitude and the promoter don't like you, you ain't gonna come back anyway. So superstar yourself down the road.
Right. There is an art. Yep. What I was been told.
You can have all the talent in the world. You can have all the talent in the world, but a right attitude has to come with it.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
100%.
What I've learned over the years.
If I was running an organization, I'd rather put the strap on somebody who gave a shit than somebody who didn't.
Right. Absolutely. And also, I mean, that's what I've been taught throughout the years. I mean, I never considered myself as a superstar. I've always wanted to consider myself, and still will be till the day I'm done, is a professional wrestler. Superstars can do other things,
Period.
Right.
Come on, Ruby. You and me both. That's it. We are, and if everybody that walked through the freaking door would just understand that as a whole. You know what I mean?
Right. Exactly.
Okay. Come in the door, all of them automatically start thinking yourself as a main eventer. Then you need to turn around and look at yourself in the mirror. You know what I mean? And and just kind of rethink what you're doing in the business.
Right. Exactly.
Kept your ego at the door.
Right.
Start again.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
It's simple.
Yeah. Yep. As simple as it may sound.
There's a level of humility that has been forgotten.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody's humble enough anymore to shake a hand and say yes, sir, or no, sir.
Right.
All right. Sorry. I told you I'm old school, man.
That's all right.
School.
I had to put this. I had to put this up. This was kind of funny.
What is that?
He says, "I'm getting ready to go past the trailer park here in Oklahoma. Does Frankie want me to wait to his relatives?"
I'm getting ready to go to the dentist tomorrow. You want me to pick up the rest of your teeth?
Oh my God.
Did I say that out loud? Oh, I can still heal with the best of them.
Yep. Yep. Oh my God, that's great.
Hey man, Herb, that's right. Herb says, guys, it's wrestling. It takes two guys to make it work. Bad attitude makes bad matches. You got that right. Woo!
Oh my
No matter
God.
where you work or who you are, it's a brotherhood. That's just me. No, that's not just you. You're right, Doc.
Yep. Man, it's so good. Oh, that was great.
You gotta think about something with Lily though. He's driving past a trailer park. He drives a big rig. How the hell does he get into that? Step ladder and a forklift or what?
Right. Right.
Look, he said, "Go ahead." Oh my goodness. Hey, you know, you might find your next. You may find your next queen at the trailer park. You never know, right? Never know.
She's the queen of my double wide.
Queen of my double wide, yeah.
No, see, Lily picks up lizards instead. Anyway, moving on. So your father helped.
Next question, come on.
That's what I'm going into now, Frankie. So your father got into the business and managed you, and you've had a brother that got into the business. But how was the feeling whenever your daughter followed your footsteps into the business?
Oh my God. When she first told me that she wanted to start training, I couldn't have been prouder. I kind of had, I don't know, reservations at first. You know, my little girl wants to get in there and train. You know, she's been around it all her life. You know, so she's been around the show. She knows the inner working. She knows how the back room goes. She knows how the gorilla position works. She knows, you know, I mean, wait a minute, my wife, I'm the queen of your double wide. Don't you forget it. Yes, dear. Wow. So, you know, I had reservations. I didn't want her to get hurt and everything like that. You know, I mean, how do you tell, though, your own flesh and blood, even though she's your daughter, that no, you don't want her to or whatever? You know, you want her to spread her wings. You want her to try it out. But, you know, when she started training, though, and even though she's seen it all her life and things like that, she picked up some things, and I guess it just came natural to her because I said, okay, now here's what you do. She looked at me and said, really? Really? It's not like I haven't seen you do it for all these years. And I kept trying to tell her, no, seriously, I want you to protect yourself. And she's like, Dad, stop. You know, I'm like, okay. So, no, things just came natural to her because she's been around it all of her life. And she started training. And let me tell you, when I had my academy, we would train. I'd say, come on, Kaylee. Wait, Dad. Come on, Kaylee. Dad, just a little bit more. Come on, Kaylee, it's time to go. I'd have to turn the lights off. Kaylee, let's go. You know, she would train and train and train. I remember times that we would be doing rope drills, and she would come home, and her entire backside would be bruised all the way down. And I'd say, well, why didn't you quit? She'd say, the guys didn't quit. You're right.
Yeah.
Or the fact
I can specifically tell you one night. I'm sorry?
Or the fact that some of the
What'd you
guys
say?
quit, but she wouldn't quit. That's the thing. We've probably seen so many guys.
Well, and I'm going to tell you, there was, you're cutting out, so I can't understand you. But there was one night that we were doing rope drills. I'll tell you this real quick. There was one night that, well, we always start off bumping. And Kaylee, she's a bumping machine. And there was a night we were doing rope drills, and for some reason I was real hard on doing these rope drills because a couple people just weren't getting them that night, and the rhythm was off, and we're working on footwork and just really going back and forth. And a couple guys kind of gassed out, got out, went over to puke, and Kaylee kept going. And I look over there, and guys are standing around the ring, and Kaylee's still doing it. But she's crying. Tears are coming down her eyes. And she wasn't crying because she was hurting. She was crying because she was pissed off because the guys were quitting.
Wow.
I couldn't have been prouder of my daughter. And I couldn't have been more pissed off at the guys.
Yeah.
So anyway, when she had her first match, it was awesome. You know, the first few cards she worked, you know, we kind of did them together, went with her. She, you know, we kind of did some things together, but then finally, it was like, you know, she wanted to do her own thing and get her own spots and get her own shows. And so she did. That's what she's been doing. And now she's taking some time off because she's engaged and going to get married and all that kind of good stuff, and try to start a family and do their own thing. So, you know, I love her to death. And if she ever wants to get back into it, she knows she has my full support. She's no slouch. She's a bumping machine, got a wicked clothesline, and doesn't take shit. So yeah, I'm proud of her.
Nice.
Monty asked where my school, Monty Shaft asked where my school was. I seen that a while ago. It was in Cottage Hills, Illinois. It was called Ring of Courage.
Right. Yep. Definitely remember that. All right. So we've probably going to go back to this because I know you've kind of put up a soapbox about this a little bit ago, but we're going to go and bring this back up. But I'm going to say, what is the characteristic or fundamental that stands out that you feel is missing with most of today's pro wrestlers' performance, and what would you do to make the changes needed
in their performance?
Yeah, like some of the new guys coming in. Is there like any characteristic or fundamental element that's missing that what we had, and if there's anything to do to help turn that around and make them better?
Absolutely. I'm going to tell you right now, one of my biggest pet peeves is quit trying to outdo everybody.
There you go.
If you're a curtain jerker, be a curtain jerker. If you're a main eventer, be a main eventer. If you're a mid-carder, stay in your lane. If the promoter wants you to curtain jerk, then ask him specifically what he wants you to do. There's a reason he put you in that spot according to the abilities that you're capable of. Or he read the crowd. He knows what he needs from a certain individual. Look, there's nothing wrong with being a curtain jerker. Maybe he wants to pop the crowd early and see what they're going to do.
Right. Exactly.
But stay in your lane. We have got too many prima donnas in this day and age that want to outdo the next match, that want to outdo the next finish, that wants to outdo the next storyline. I came from an era where every match on the card does not have to have a freaking storyline. Your match does not have to have an angle.
Right.
Do you get that? That's the mentality that we have. That's the superstar mentality where everybody on the roster, everybody on the card that night thinks that their match has to have an angle. Your match don't have to have an angle. If the writer or the promoter says you're going over in 7, clean in the middle, then work it out. You don't need an angle.
Yep. And it also kind of depends on the crowd too. You may get in there and after 2 minutes you might hear, "Oh, you stink!" You may have to wrap it up and finish in 5. So, you know.
Right. Well, that's where experience comes from. You know, that takes a lot of years. That takes a lot of years to learn how to read the crowd. But I mean, a lot of guys, that's what I'm saying. This superstar mentality is got to go. Everybody wants to outdo the next guy. Everybody wants to go in there and prove a point. The only thing that you need to prove is that you can listen to the guys running the show and do what you're asked to do, so you can be asked back and get paid the next time.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And I'm a big believer that you can tell a story in your match without cutting a promo or without trying to be the main event.
Right. Everybody don't need to hop on the mic in every match.
Right.
Oh, I got though, but you know. No, and I agree. And that's the one thing though too, is the fact that
right.
Everybody wants to be the main eventer or wants to be big and everything, but they don't realize how many people actually started from the bottom and worked their way up though too.
Hey, let me ask you guys a question real quick. Okay? In your opinion, what is the most important match of the night?
What Herb Simmons just said. Right here.
Yeah, the first match.
Curtain jerker?
Yep.
I respectfully, I mean, that's very important. That sets the stage. Okay.
Right.
But in my opinion, the most important match of the night is the very first match after intermission.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
The crowd has cooled off after the first half of the show. So now you're the second curtain jerker who has to set the stage for the main event.
Yep. You make an excellent point there, because the first, the opening of the show, I mean, people are usually hyped up and they want to see the first match anyway, because they're set ready to go.
Right.
But you go, everybody's going to the bathroom, someone's getting beer, someone's
your individual match tells a story, but each match tells a story for the rest of the night.
Yep. Exactly.
Okay, sorry. I didn't mean to go all
No, man, no.
You're going to have your soapbox built onto the show the rest of the show now. So just you're going to stay there and you're going to use it all night now. So.
No. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's like Schoolhouse Rock. Knowledge is power. So, the more you share, the better it is. So we're going to cut. Right now, we mentioned some of these individuals before. But I'm going to read off a list of people that you've been associated with in wrestling. I want you to give your first thought that comes to mind. It could be just one word, it could be a phrase or a sentence, whichever. Papa D.
That's my pop. Man, what do you say? That's my pop. One of the greatest minds. I tell you what, we had some fun. It was great. I wished he was still able to do it. Keep him in your prayers, okay? Every now and then you'll see him post some stuff online. He's an awesome guy.
All right.
I love him to death.
Yep, awesome. Ricky Cruz.
Ricky Cruz. Badass.
PT
Poppy. Ricky Cruz. Poppy.
Oh, yeah. It's an inside joke. That's why GQ is laughing.
I'm not saying a damn thing.
You better not say a damn thing.
I'm the rookie out of this class right now, so.
I'll repeat the one you might have missed it, but P.T. Beckham.
P.T. Beckham. Great potential.
There you go. Drill instructor or Attila Khan.
Hey, no, wait. Let me go back. No, look. P.T. Beckham. Okay. He was probably one of my best students, even though he knew some stuff before he came. And I wish him really well. And he could go very far if he would just believe in himself.
All right. Wow. Loaded. Yeah, definitely a lot in that statement. So Attila Khan or a drill instructor. Did you hear me? I'm sorry. I didn't know.
My brother.
You know, there's a lot, including myself, there's a lot of people that want to see Son of the South versus Attila Khan one time.
We did once, but we couldn't do what we wanted to do due to the restrictions that we've had. We've talked about it. We've talked about how we wanted to. Maybe a time will happen that we could do one of those blowouts that we used to have back in the day. It would be fun. It would be fun. I'll tell you what, guys. Let me say this. Now, I'm not trying to pat myself on the back because I don't want to do that. I don't want to brag or boast or anything like that. But I'm in better shape now than I have ever been in my entire life. So, and I'm 52 years old.
Yeah. Yeah.
So if he's got it, he's got it.
Yep. I'd definitely like to see that. I probably would have to be across the river. Maybe. I don't know. But that would be definitely interesting.
I don't think it could happen in Missouri.
Right. Right. I get it.
I think you and him are the reasons why they have those Missouri restrictions now, because what you did all over this damn state.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, man. Johnny Jett.
Oh, man. Man's man. Great individual. Heart of gold. Awesome, awesome talent.
All right.
Attila versus Frankie, box office business. There you go. Absolutely.
Next, Frank Reed.
Frank Reed is one of the best salesmen, go-getters that I know. When he puts on a show, he will go into a town and hit every business until he drops.
All right.
Would you agree?
Yeah.
He will poster that town until there's no more posters. I've known Frank for almost 30 years.
Yeah. Yep, I know, and he'll fly till the cows come home multiple nights, and hopefully trying to get the crowd in. So I definitely know about that. Billy D.
My brother, one of the baddest guys I know, one of the most toughest people I have ever met.
Yep. Yep, that I agree with. Knowing his background. Gentlemen's in here tonight. Herb Simmons.
Herb. I got to say, Herb is probably, how do I say this? He is one of the most upstanding individuals I have ever met in my life. Integrity, beyond integrity. Through this whole pandemic, he is one that has kept his word on what he said he was going to do and hasn't come back off of what he said he was going to do. a lot of people have gotten angry at Herb, simply has not understood his position.
Mm-hmm.
I have to give Herb props. Herb hasn't told me this. He hasn't probably shared this, probably hasn't said anything to anybody, but I could only imagine the amount of friends he's lost by taking the stand that he's taken. And integrity is not only what you do in front of people. True integrity comes out when nobody's watching. Does that make sense?
Yep.
And through this whole pandemic, I understand that Herb has had to make decisions that has cost him relationships, that has cost him money, that has cost him a lot of personal things, I'm sure. But in the end, when all of this is over, and the people that are standing, and the businesses that are standing, and the people that have integrity are still there, you will find out, without a doubt, for sure, who believed in you.
Yep. Awesome. Johnny D. Johnny
D is a brother as well. He was my original tag team partner, and he's a great individual, great worker, and it'd be great to get the band back together sometime.
There you go. And last but not least, Little Dynamite, Tony Costa.
Tony's the one who gave me my first go. And every time I said, "Hey, Tony, you got a spot for me?" Never once told me no. Always said, "Yeah, come on." Always. I remember my first time that I met him. Walked in, said, "You here to talk to me?" Yep. Him and Keith Smith took me downstairs in the annex, down by the old steam sauna thing there in the basement.
Yeah.
And first thing they said was, "You here to make money?" I said, "I'd like to make some." He said, "You won't." Okay. I mean, he's talking about busting my bubble. I busted my bubble. He said, "Well, come back tomorrow night." Okay.
Oh, awesome.
I said, okay. That was it. Yeah. Tony was awesome. Herb just said it. You spell it, talk about integrity. You spell it TonyCasta. Tony always never had a problem paying people. He always kept his word, did what he said he was going to do. And, man, I tell you what, smart and just great. I miss him. Great.
Awesome. All right.
Well,
G,
since
what
we're
next?
all about the advice you've been given every once in a while when you were getting in and stuff, is there one particular piece of advice to tell someone new wanting to get involved in the wrestling business? What would it be?
Okay. Shut up and listen. Don't insert yourself in conversations that you weren't invited into. That was the very first thing that was told me. Okay. When you come into a locker room, you shake hands with everybody. You look them in the eye, shake hands, and you sit down and you listen. That is the best way that you can learn.
Yeah, amen. Yep. Definitely, you're somebody new. You have to be that. You gotta have all you need to do is listen and pretty much do what you're told from your mentors with that. So
Right.
coming, I'm sorry, go ahead.
I wanted to say something else too. We're talking about, the new guys and stuff like this here. I don't want to be too off the mark here. Okay, I'm going to say this, and I'm going to say it as nice as I possibly can. We talked about just a few minutes ago about how some of the guys come in, they train for a little bit, they're around the show for a little bit, and then you never see them anymore. Remember that?
Mm-hmm.
We talked about that. You know why that is? It's because those guys feel abused. Those guys feel abused. They feel betrayed, and they don't want to be around anymore. Now, why is that? Let me tell you something. Okay, we all have to pay our dues some way or another, because most of the training that these guys get, they don't really have to pay for it, especially at our level. Fair statement, right?
Right.
Okay, so what we typically ask them to do is be on the ring crew, help us clean messes up, put up chairs, help us promote the show, do everything that you can do behind the scenes to help the show be a success, and we'll train you, right?
Right.
I have seen now these older promoters that I know, they don't do it. Tony didn't do it. Herb doesn't do it. Okay. But there are promoters in this area that do this. And it pisses me off that you bring these kids in and you say, well, I'll train you if you do this, 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 and that, and the other. You work their asses off. You bump them around maybe once a month. You keep promising them they're going to get a show, but then you just bump them around. You don't really give them that much training. And then you put them under a mask, and then you squash them for 30 seconds on their first show. And then maybe in another 3 months, you'll get them a mask again and then let them go for about another minute and a half longer than you did the first show. And then you work their ass off again for the next 6 or 7 shows. And then you treat them like shit and yell and scream at them. And then you wonder why they don't come back.
Yeah.
Every person, whether they're an active worker, whether they are a ticket taker, whether they're putting up other chairs or helping take down the ring, they are helping you be a success with their show. I was taught a long time ago that the guy putting up the chair is just important as the guy wearing the strap.
Yeah.
And if you don't get that, you don't need to be a promoter.
Yeah.
I agree with that. 1,000%.
My boys, they are not active wrestlers. As a matter of fact, they come with me every once in a while to my shows. But do you know what they do when they go to the shows? They help put rings up. They put chairs up. They sweep. They pick trash up. I don't make them. I don't ask them. They just do it. There they are. So anyway.
There they are. I'm going to put this focus real quick. Yep, there they are.
Hold on, let me turn that off here on the one thing there.
There you go.
Yeah. That was about 3 years ago.
Oh, yeah. I remember that. We'll certainly do.
My daughter does it too, whether she's working or not. If she goes to a show to watch, she helps.
Last show I saw her at, which was oh crap, I forgot where it was in Missouri, but it was for ACW. Where was that at, Ruby?
That was in St. Clair.
Yeah, and
even to this day, I still, and I'm not trying to pat myself on the back, but I still try to help when I can.
But yeah, after the show, she helped try to tear down and everything, even though she was there. And that's what you call dedication to helping out the business. I've done that so many times with going to shows, watching and talking with the guys and getting to know people. It's like, if you don't remember where you came from and how to help out, you're just going to be remembered as the one guy that showed up and did whatever, and that was it, Yeah,
right. Okay, now you were going to say something before I interrupted you. Sorry, Rube.
Oh no. No, I was just going into to the next question here. But because I know we talked about notable names, but let's talk about the pro wrestlers around here in the around the area, or who've you encountered. Who would you consider to be your best opponent to wrestle against, as far as like a local wrestler? Or
Recently, or like in the last 30 years?
What? Anything that stands out?
Wicked.
Oh, okay, cool.
Tough. Okay. Curtis Wilde.
Yeah. In fact, that's who you defeated to maintain that championship in the early part of 2020, I believe, before everything went haywire. But also, well, what would you consider your most memorable match of your career, if anything stands out there?
Most memorable match in my career. Boonville. All Americans. We were hauled off to jail.
Remember, I was there for that. Oh my gosh, man, that was something, man. You talk about a stirred up crowd getting Bodily Harm in handcuffs and out the building and into a car.
Yeah,
oh my goodness.
And
Hey, Boonville.
I was going to say, people wonder why the one time when the cops were about ready to arrest me for a spot on the show, that I was actually happy and thrilled, because you don't get that kind of response hardly anymore. And it's almost I won't say dying art, but you can still get the crowd going and make them believe in what you're doing if you work on it. Despite of what people say, if you're not doing it, then you're not doing a good job.
right.
Exactly.
I miss those times of being nasty.
Oh yeah, man.
Maybe that side of me will come back.
Yeah. Who knows, man? Anything's possible. Anything's possible to stir up the crowd, or just get somebody's
Right.
just get somebody's blood boiling, man. So
Here, click on that, Ruby. Click on me for a second.
oh yeah, here we go. Hold on.
This
It's also KC.
doesn't apply the Missouri stuff. I'm just saying.
Yeah. Dang, I can't even tell her that's. It almost looks like hard if it's over the eye.
I forgot about the blonde hair days. Wow.
Just like I forget about my blonde hair day, so it's okay.
Oh damn! I can always do that.
I
Damn.
forgot about your hair days. What are you talking about?
Right. Oh my gosh.
Every single one of us have done the blonde hair day once, and it's why we can't do it again after that.
Right.
Yeah, but my attempt, I look like Ricky Morton's love child from somebody. So I don't know. So is there any particular moment that stands out as your crowning achievement in your pro wrestling career?
Yes. Oh, you want to know what it was?
Yeah. Oh, yes.
The ones we want the answer, he doesn't give the answer. The ones we don't want the full answer, he's like on it for an hour. So
I know
Okay,
you're not critiquing my
seriously.
ass right now. Dude. I know.
So, to win the strap, the MMWA strap.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's that's definitely an honor to have, especially with the long history that they've had. So
Now,
Where I started, where I started over 30 years ago.
one question though, Frankie, was that still during when Tony was alive?
I'm sorry?
Was that while Tony was still when you won that strap? Okay.
He was, but he wasn't there.
right.
So you can actually say that you were the last one to have that title while Tony was still alive.
Yep. That's so that's definitely a good, that's an awesome look about, like I said, it's behind you, and I know some guys are aiming for it. And hopefully we're going to be getting something going. I hope there's going to be good news coming soon. I'm hearing a lot of
I mean, we're all eager and ready for it for sure, but we want to make sure everything's ready to go first. We want to make sure it's right. Let's make sure it's right first.
Yeah, exactly.
I have the Missouri license that is probably not going to get used until I have to renew all the blood work again.
Yeah. Oh, so GQ, why don't
Oh, here we go. This is going to be the fun one. I got to try to word this a little correctly because I know it's got to be stuff that we can talk about. But what are some memorable road stories in wrestling that you can share that are funny or have stuck with you? There's ones you can share.
I mean, there's just so many, but look, let me tell you this. When you're an independent wrestler and you're on the road with a bunch of guys that I know, and you drink a bunch of things that you shouldn't, every road story that you have, you cannot share on a forum like this.
Yep, pretty much.
So that was a loaded question, and there's your loaded answer.
Okay, so let's get an unloaded question, and tell us a funny trip story that you can tell. And take your time because Ruby has to pee. So make it last for a while.
Because Ruby has to what?
He has to pee. He had to tell me that in private chat that he has to pee. So make it a long story.
Seriously. Guys, I'm trying to think. Gosh, you're putting me on the spot here. There's,
like, I could throw one out.
I am not going to share.
How about people on the bus when we were leaving from that one show we had the bus trip on, the last one? When we mooned everybody out. Well, actually, I forgot. No, we were mooning you. I'm sorry. Never mind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a receipt coming back to me at some point now.
Okay. How about a beast story? Iowa.
Oh, Lord.
We were working a show in Iowa, and we had a couple of rookies, and they did some sort of mistake, and Beast and Joe actually was sharing a room. Remember Joe? God rest his soul.
Mm-hmm.
Osiris. They were sharing a room, and me, Harsh, Izzy, and I think Lightfoot was in another room, and we had rookies with us too. Anyway, the rookies just ticked us off for some reason. I don't know what exactly they did, but we got Beast in on this, so we wanted to kind of play a trick on the rookies. So we told the rookies, follow us. We went over to Beast's room, and we told the rookies to go in the bathroom and shut up. Shut the door. So they went in the bathroom and shut the door. So Beast, you know who Beast is? beast, rather, how should I say this, decloaked, and proceeded to go into the bathroom. And as he did, the two rookies came running out, very afraid. So that's as clean as I can get that joke. So not joke, but story. So anyway, there's a lot of stuff like that happens on the road, just to have fun.
And I'm good with that. We can end it on that one.
Okay.
Ruby,
hey, Rube, why you sweating? Rube, why you sweating?
Ruby, turn your mic on.
I can't hear you.
Sorry,
turn your
man.
mic on.
Sorry, man.
Turn your hearing aid up, Ruby.
Why you sweating?
No, man, this is a glare off from the lights. You know, I wax my head twice a week, so you know.
Oh.
Oh my God. So so where can people find you on social media?
Congress in. Oh, sorry.
2 pages. I got a shoot page. My shoot page is Frank Haynes. Work page is Son of the South. So that's all I got. Facebook. I don't do Twitter and all that kind of crap. So that's pretty much all I got. It's Facebook. That's where I'm at. So if you want to get a hold of me, get a hold of me there. I want to kind of say something else too, before we do whatever. Talking about all these different promotions, they're all in the area. If there's one thing that this pandemic has done, has weeded the garden, which is not a bad thing.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I agree.
But here's what I fear. Mitigation is a little less strict. And the closer we get to tax season, restrictions will be lifted some more. So now what does that tell me? That tells me that little Joey's going to get his big tax check and go out and buy a ring again.
Yep.
So listen, please, for the love of God, watch who you work for. Watch who you work with. Everybody that calls himself as a promoter is not a promoter. Everybody who owns a ring is not professional. You're known by the company that you keep. Please remember those words.
Exactly.
Let's get this business the respect that it deserves. Okay?
Yep. Absolutely. Yep. So work for somebody who's reputable or someone that's been there, you know. You definitely want to make sure you're not taking a chance on something new that maybe somebody may not know what the hell they're doing. So absolutely.
Right.
But around here, you know where the promotions are at. Don't, you know, there's like one new one around here, which is IEW, but, you know, GQ knows most of those guys. I know most of those guys.
IEW is not a backyard starter, so
right.
They're not a backyard starter.
Gotcha. Yep, exactly. So, man, I hope we have, I mean, hopefully with those restrictions coming up, and like I said, it's not going to be like this forever. As we get into the year, I know the shows will be coming down the pike. I know that there are some, I'm hearing some promoters that are trying to work for something in the spring, but if anything happens before that, I will be surprised. But I want everybody to know, don't lose faith. You will get a chance to view a wrestling show soon. So, I mean,
right.
Or even be at a wrestling show, and I can't wait to be at one. So, I'm itching at the bit just to do something, and I'm sure Frankie D is doing that as well. So, but what I will do here is I'm going to
continue, Ruby. Hold on. While we know what's happening with him this year, I will say this. You are a future Hall of Famer, Frankie. No matter what you think or what others may say, you are a future Hall of Famer, and you will be in one of the Hall of Fames one day.
Oh, I can guarantee it.
Well, I appreciate that. I appreciate it, guys.
I mean, they let him in, they let anybody in. So.
What a dick. Man.
Congratulations, by the way, on that, Rube.
Thank you very much, man. Like I said, it's humbling because I know there's a lot that have contributed to my success that I feel I should have been in there, and you're one of them. And I feel that you should get recognition as well. And trust me, if my voice is counting on something, it will be heard. So, but to
let me say this too. I know I keep.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, let me say this. Hey, anybody that's listening, okay? You got heat with somebody, put the fire out. Let me give you that bit of advice too, okay? If you have heat with somebody, put that fire out. Okay, go ahead.
Oh yeah, that's true. Squash it because life is too short anyway. And what are you going to gain out of it in the end? Really, is it really something worthwhile? So, think of what it's really going to benefit if you hold on to it, because really it's nothing. So, but I will panel me for just a short moment, because I want to tell everybody about our next scheduled show for next Thursday. Next Thursday is right there, February 4th. Longtime legendary promoter and booker, the one and only Herb Simmons, will be in the house next week as our featured guest. So make sure that you're tuning into that. And we definitely can't wait to speak with Herb and get, this man has a lot of, I don't know. He just has a lot of feedback on a lot of things, over the years. So CAC is a great organization. So yeah, and we may be even talking about that next week. In fact, I'm pretty sure we're going to be talking about that next week.
I'm down with that. So
yeah, so awesome. All right. Well, I want to say first off to my mentor, my trainer, and even for tonight, I want to thank you very much for making a sacrifice, doing a favor for the show here. And like I said, I never really got a chance to really, and there's many times I wanted to just come and just say, thank you for everything that you've gotten me through. Because trust me, any guy with a desire and everything else that's wanting to just like do something in the wrestling business. And I'm glad that in my opinion, I was taught by one of the best. So I don't think I could have had a better trainer. So
I appreciate that, but there's a lot guys better than me.
Oh man, no man. Trust me, GQ. Because he knows about heel tactics, and he can get a fire underneath you to do something bad, do something really bad. So man, yeah. So once again, I thank you for very much coming on here and indulging us.
Appreciate you guys for having me. Thank you.
Yeah. So I appreciate everything.
Always a pleasure, Frankie.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Thanks. Appreciate you guys.
Yeah, we really do appreciate you, man. So with that, we are going to be getting out of here. And once again, this has been episode number 23 of the False Count Everywhere podcast. I am Rough Cut Rick Ruby, the other jackass. Whatever this way. There you go. I'm not doing this show. But if we had some of the stuff, Frankie D with us tonight. And tune in next week. We got one and only Herb Simmons. And we will see you guys next week. Thanks again. Thank you.